Need more Bruno, says Ruben Amorim. Where would they be without his influence and numbers, do you think?
They'd be a lot worse off, wouldn't they? People have their opinions on Bruno. I think that's purely historically as a captain at Man United. Doesn't fit the mould, if you like. But talent-wise, he's by far the best player the football club's got. One of the more talented ones in the Premier League, and he produces goals. And is, like you say, Man United would be probably 15 points less this season without Bruno Fernandes.
And his durability, Nicky, I think since he made his debut, he's only been unavailable for 8 games.
Yeah, he's always available. He doesn't duck games. He's never hardly ever injured. So you've got to give him a lot of credit for that. He's available for games all the time. And when a club's going bad, which Man United obviously is, it's very easy for certain players to duck it with a little niggle here and a little niggle there. People will say that they don't. Trust me, players do when it goes bad. He doesn't, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and I look at players, I look at how hard it is to play for Manchester United in recent years. There's very, very few players that spring to mind that you think, yeah, the player that they signed is the same or got better. Everybody regresses in a red shirt at the moment. Everybody. And the telltale sign is when they leave, they all of a sudden grow into a great player again. You know, you look at the McTominays and the Wan-Bissakas and the Antonys and the Rashfords and everybody else that have just left in recent months. They're all playing far better than when they were at Manchester United. I just wonder if Bruno Fernandes was in a top team, let's say playing for Liverpool or playing for Manchester City over the last week, how good could this guy be? He's putting up the numbers right up in the mix of the top players in the Premier League, playing in a struggling team that everybody else struggles in. It's quite incredible what he's doing, to be fair. And we'll have a look at a couple of these clips, Steve. You know, he plays in different roles. You know, he's played as a 6 alongside, you know, the likes of Casemiro or Ugarte or players like that. He's played as a number 10. He's also played as a sort of a false 9 as well. I mean, that little flick around the corner to Højlund was absolutely exquisite. Unbelievable vision. Again, his closing down here in this left-hand side. This is away at Liverpool, at Anfield. A lot of players can go hiding, as Butty says, in games like this when the going gets tough. But his vision, his weight of pass, you know, he's unbelievable. He's a real team player when it comes to that. He scores his goals. Look at that for defending. You know, he does put a shift, and he's not one of these players, these number 10s, that just ambles around the pitch and you know, does the odd little flick once in a while. He really puts a shift in for the team, and we can see that with a couple of the numbers he posts as well, Steve.
Yeah, let's have a look at this, because this surprised us all today. Since the 2021 season, only Thomas Souček at West Ham has covered more kilometres.
Yeah, I think that's going back to what we said a second ago. He's available every game. He plays pretty much every game. He's a very important player for the football club. He works hard. No one can ever deny that. And them distance covered there, the figures, it's mind-blowing, really. For someone who is known to be a technically gifted player, usually you get these players that just stand about and do all the nice stuff, which he shows, but the work ethic's there as well. So, you know, when you look into these stats, it's very difficult to have a go at him. But there's a few things that gets people's back up. He's very theatrical, he's very emotional, and it's not, like I say, it's not the normal Man United captain that you would look at a Robson, a Keane, a Bruce, you know, them kind of players, the Cantona. They're different, but again, the figures that he's doing and the stuff he does with the ball and the goals he scores, it's phenomenal.
Look at these figures.
Really proud to coach a player like him. I'm sure very proud, many of the United fans, to support a player like him. At the start of the season, it wasn't quite like that. He was coming under a lot of criticism, but right now, Bruno Fernandes is the shining light, the standout star. He's carrying them in many ways.
Yeah, he is, especially when it comes to penalties as well. But I don't think there's ever been a lack of effort from Bruno Fernandes. I think sometimes it's been channeled in the wrong way. There's no doubt that he's an exceptional player. It's just sometimes I feel as though he lets his frustrations out on the pitch, and that can be off-putting at times. I feel as though things like that should be addressed internally, in the dressing room. But look, I mean, you look at the quality he's got here. From dead balls, and he's the heartbeat of the team. He's the one that doesn't stop running, that's always looking to play forward. Without him, I would worry where they were.
Yeah, he shouldn't be playing with the red on his back. He should have an S on his chest.
Oh, you are just full of things today. You're saying all the right things today. So Bruno Fernandes, sensational. And sensational gain in the scoring the hat-trick
Yeah.
Thursday night, yeah?
Yeah, listen, he embodies what we should see from him as fight, commitment. And it's interesting because I agree with Glenn. Most of his yellow cards actually come from petulance, from arguing with referees and being annoyed about decisions. But when you look at the pure football, he is an outstanding footballer. I noticed he talked about an offer to leave the club, but he wanted to be committed because he's been part of the rebuild. I think you'll get a lot out of him if they do rebuild that side around him.
Is he captain material?
No. But you can still rebuild a team around a player and that player not